morning. This is Suraj Singh, professional civil engineer, registered by Institute of Engineers India as an international professional engineer. Having a lot of experience in civil engineering, I'd just like to introduce myself formally so that you know who am I. I'm speaking from Faridabad, Bharat, located in Haryana. I just like to introduce myself in the furthermore brief so that you understand me, and you, because I have done many videos so far, you must have known my identity. I have worked I'm now 65 years of age. First of all, my date of birth is 30th January 1955. I passed my diploma in civil engineering in 1974. I passed my degree in civil engineering from Calcutta Institute of Engineers India 1981. I worked in Delhi Urban Authority for 6 years in the start of my career. And then I migrated to, I can just moved to Middle East in 1981, and from 1981 onwards to 2008 and further, I worked in overseas for about more than 20 years, around 28 years time. I worked with many nationalities. I worked in Iraq. I worked with many nationalities in Baghdad, in Sharqat, in Mosul, in you can say many other areas, with Palestinians, with Lebanese, with Mishris, Iraqis, with British, with Bangladeshis, with Pakistanis, with Bharat people, and with many other nationalities. I worked in Libya, at Tripoli I worked in Benghazi, I worked in Sabha, I worked in many places with many other nationalities like Libyans, like Italians, like French, like our people, Pakistanis, Bangladeshis, many others from other sectors of life. I worked in many other countries of Gulf. For example, I worked in Abu Dhabi. I worked in Abu Dhabi with all nationalities of Lebanon, Syria, British, Qatar, and like that I have worked in many other countries. For example, Saudi Arab. I worked in you can say Qatar, Doha, and Abu Dhabi again, and with like that my experience is varying, and it's not simply experience located to one country or confined to one country, and with many nationalities, you can say around nationalities of more than 50 countries I have worked in my life of more than 20 years career in civil engineering and field engineering or professional engineering, or you can say multidisciplinary engineering, whatever you may call it. And I want to share with all of you people, youth, old, adolescent, my bad or good experience so that you know what is world. I don't claim that I know all world. I work in few countries only, but you get experiences while you interact with many different nationalities, with different languages, with different communications, those having different cultures, way of living, way of talking, way of thinking, way of acting, way of approach, way of honesty, way of dishonesty, all have different kind of backgrounds. And I had to interact with them from time to time, really in relation to work and while talking in interactions of personal life with each other. You get different type of exposures in life and saying, I got it. I just want to share collecting all those experience from memory and dealing with you. It's not a question of dealing as well, just an exchange, because I'm talking one way. I'm not able to interact with you to reply to your questions or to receive your questions. But even then, it is because of this media, support of this media, Facebook. I'm thankful to Facebook for this purpose. I am at least able to share that. My old experience, my used experience, and that could not be shared otherwise. It's not the time. This is 2019 to read books. People are not habitual of reading books. People are not habitual of writing. People are not habitual of thinking. Those cultures have gone. When we used to write, record, and something and publish, so that is a time-consuming job and cost-consuming job. People don't want to spend time and cost on those books. Students today and youth today and people today and all today are mobile oriented, voice oriented, video oriented. They don't want to write, they don't want to read. Habit of writing and reading has gone. They just want to have life without stress and just to enjoy that. That is what is happening, and we all belong to that. We all have to share to that, and we have to compromise with that environment. There is no other way not to compromise with, but that's what's happening, and that is only a reason that I'm here with you on this Facebook video, which is live, and though I'm sure that it's not going to thousands of viewers, but whatever it is, it's not my problem how many viewers read this or open this. It's up to them. My responsibility. I'm doing that. I'm trying to share my experience. But once I leave this planet, my My experience shall go with me. My knowledge shall come with me. I want that somebody should use that knowledge. That's all. I'm not giving 100% of what I got in my field to you, because my basic qualification is engineering, and engineering I cannot give you without your having engineering knowledge. But other experience which I have in addition to engineering is extra experience, because other experience in life, because of interactions with many nationalities of world. It's not question of one nationality, one culture. It's a varying and diverse culture and diverse nationality of world, which are I got in interact as interaction in my field of design field, engineering, construction field, all of the field, practical field, licensing field, public relation field, and walking on road when you got people interacted with that type of field, all come into picture when you deal with people. And it's all with you also. You have different varying experiences which you can share with others if you wish. It's up to you. It's not compulsion. But as a person, as a belonging to this earth, I work for earth, not for my country alone. I work for whole world. I served many nationalities. I support with my experience Gulf countries, Libya I supported, Iraq I supported, Abu Dhabi UAE I supported, Saudi Arabia I supported, Qatar I supported my own country Bharat. So it depends upon what circumstances you have, what environment we meet in your life, and that's what I did. It's not something I can't call it achievement or life to achievement, and I'm not behind any award. I am sure I'm not given any award so far. I shall not be given. I'm not considered for award, because there's no question of award in this. My work is my award, my success is my award, my attempts are my award, my applications of my work are award, my knowledge is my award, my sharing with you is my award. All these are awards for me, because award doesn't mean one certificate or one trophy or something. I don't consider it award. That is just the pleasure when you draw from that. Everything is award. Sequence is award. Work is award. Bad work is also award, because you run from that, and good work is out of because you are unrespectful of that, and you make your also enriched in your experience, knowledgeable in experience. That is what it is. And the reason for this video production is also same, because it's not in one discipline video I'm making video based on my experiences, not only on my educational qualification but also on the personal qualification, personal knowledge, or my interaction of my own mind, interaction of my mind with other people, what I think, how can I understand, how can I communicate to you, what are my minds, what are complication of minds, what are my bad ideas, what are my good ideas, how I can communicate to you. That is my basic understanding with you. I got this medium because I wrote books also in my life which didn't succeed very well. People don't want to read this, and I'm not a professor, I'm not a lecturer, I cannot write textbooks. I wrote professional books which reflect my own experience, but those books are not received well in current world, because first of all, people don't want to study professional books. They want to study only textbook based on which examinations are passed. Okay, that is very nice. You can say syllabus books. I am not a professor. I was never a professor. I am not interested in writing textbooks, because there are so many textbooks for every subject which can be intelligent. What usually professors do, they take 4 or 5 books, just put in a combination of all those, and take off direction, they add something from their own, and they produce a book. I'm not concerned with that. I'm not. My destiny is not that. My destiny is to reflect my own learning to you people who are interested, who are not interested. None of my business. If you're interested, it's your own interest. If you're not interested, even then it is your own consideration. I am not going to force someone to read it. My job is just to tell you, just to inform you, just to provide you or disseminate with you my information that I had by virtue of my qualification, by virtue of my experience, by virtue of my I can say integrating with experience in field and profession or non-profession, by virtue of my having connections with general field, which common field, with political field, with science field, with community field, with non-community field, with consideration field, with contemplation field, with online working field, and all that. I cannot describe in one sentence or one paragraph or one chapter. It depends upon person to person. Some people are interested in this, some people are not interested in being a professional. I got some education, I got some support from society, I got support from my nation Bharat, I got support from my other countries where I worked in one form or other. It was either from experience or in form of providing information to our projects, which I got into myself in my mind based on reading of the documents. So what I'm saying, I cannot take that burden on me alone. I should distribute that to people in one form or another. Whoever people receive this, the students receive, or professional receives, or common citizen receive, or whoever receives, up to them. If you want to receive, thank you very much. If you don't want to receive, somebody else will receive, and I'm happy for that. My job, I at least go, when I go from this world, I will be happy that I have shared something with you people. That's only my consideration. I didn't anyway. I come back to my topic again. Yesterday I talked to you about economy. Nation is economy, state is nation is a state, nation is economy, nation is a country, nation is a society, whatever it is. There are so many nations in the whole world. There are more than around 150 to 200 nations which are under umbrella of United Nations organization. I was talking about that. I was taking our country to that. Our country is Bharat, that is India, and we are considering about that, how we belong to world and how world is to us. How we perform in this world, what is our basic structure, how we can move, that is more important. It's nothing else to do with that. Every country has certain infrastructure, every country has certain basics, fundamentals, every country has some foundations. No society can exist without any background. All countries have certain background, and similarly we Bharat, India has certain backgrounds which I explained to you yesterday, and just for repetition of that, I can say we had a very long background, so thousands of years old country, maybe more, maybe millennials, but okay, we know history of thousands of years. We know history at least from Mahabharata time up to now. History is known, is on record. We don't know history of Treta Yuga, or we don't know history of Satya Yuga. There are histories or imaginations, hypothetical. We are not going to confer on that, because that is all. Whatever is there considered okay or not considered okay, nothing to do with that. The question is, whatever is with us, whatever we can prove, whatever we have in the mind on records, we can at least contemplate about that. We have a very rich society. We had a very rich culture, very rich people, strong people, mentally people, efficient people, performing people, all we had in our life in this country. And all other countries had similar things. If you go to GCC Gulf countries, if you go to Middle East countries, if you go to where there have been struggles in ice forms or desert formation, people struggle there as well. There were people in Gulf countries who could have good food. They used to depend, they to draw their food from sea, and that is all what they lived. The way they lived on dates, they lived on food of animals. But we here had every facilities with us, naturally ground food, that is called vegetables. We had fruits, orchards, we had bread, we have rice, we had everything. We have creams, we have milk, we had water, drinkable water directly from river, from wells. We had all kinds of basic infrastructure facilities which we did not produce ourselves, but nature provided to us. That is what we had, the rich heritage, you can say. When we say proudly that we have heritage country, we have a heritage city, we have a heritage of everything, that is all called riches. But this is not our achievement. This was provided by nature. It is not our achievement. Similarly, this is not their default in England or default in America or default in GCC, that they did not have all these facilities. They didn't have greenery, they didn't have river network. We had, because God provided us in this part of world. It's not our achievement. It's not their fault that they don't have this. They have different kind of environment, but all belong to this earth. All belong to Earth surface, Earth seas, all belong to Earth hemisphere. Sorry, Earth solid sphere. All belong to Earth. Air is for all of us, the earth is for all of us, all rivers are for all of us, seas and oceans are for all of us. But we practically don't have this because of varying geographical ownership problem. All countries say that we are owner of this area. Practically speaking, nobody is owner of anyone, because we did not buy this earth, or we did not buy portion of Bharat, we did not buy portion of America, they did not buy portion of US as well. All countries have just dominations, because whoever is powerful can own. However, that is a different topic. We are now Indian, we are now Bharatvasis, we have relative ownership, I can say. I cannot say it is our, we belong to this country because I am born on this country, you are born on this area. Similarly, US born is there, Gulf born is there. It is because of only that relative reason, but Earth is same. Earth is a planet of home for all of us, and they will live here. That's what I said. But economy is different. Economy is a relative subject. Similarly, natural resources is a relative subject. These resources come from Earth, and these resources belong to Earth and be delivered by Earth. So these resources are also belonging to all. We accept or we don't accept, nothing to do with that. Solar system is there, Earth is a part of solar system, and we have to accept that. We accept or do not accept, it's up to us. But it is right, it is clear, it is a universal law. Just like Earth is moving, it's not stopping. Similarly, Earth is taking around Sun. This happens, and there is a solar system which has been working for millenniums and millenniums since it was constructed and delivered to this world. It has been. We have been watching all this. We have been experiencing all this. We accept or we don't accept. That's another issue. Fact remains that we are living beings. We are enjoying this Earth in a plus way or in a minus way. That is different consideration, different outlook. We have to see that we have been living, we are fed by this earth, we are grown by this earth, we enjoy this earth from all angles, from natural power, from non-natural power, our efforts. We are passing time, we are enjoying time, we are living from birth to a time when we leave this earth. For everyone, this applies. All citizens of this world applies, though we are formally not citizens of the world, we are formally citizens of one area. and that is called nation, that is called economy, that is called state, that is called whatever you call. I have put certain text on this video, on text side. You can go through that. There are so many few, you can say, URLs also, few text, few questions, and probability what we have to see in this country, what problems we are facing with. Now I shall just be back with now our consideration of this economy Bharat. Yesterday I explained something about this. I explained at length about what we are, how we are. No, that's a general discussion, general conferring with you, seminar type talks. Though it is one way only, I'm sorry for that, because I don't have by connection. You cannot talk to me directly during video, because it is simple facility I am having. I don't have very, because elaborate facility here. I don't have very established office. I'm just using a personal computer laptop this for this purpose, because I cannot afford all that. It is free of cost. I'm not charging anything from anybody. I'm not interested in charging as well, because it's dissemination of my knowledge. Whatever I have by efforts, by my own efforts, or by God gift, whatever I have, I'm sharing with you. That is the only reason that I'm talking to you. If you want to speak to me, if you want to write to me, you can mail to me. Your mail is known to me. If you are not having my mail, I will just speak again. You can write. It is SURAJ Suraj. It is SURAJ Suraj _ ENGINEER engineer. Again I say SURAJ Suraj _ ENGINEER at yahoo.co.uk. It is not com, it's not com, it is either not co in, it is yahoo.co.uk, and it is UK because at that time I was just searching for mail in the beginning when I did not know what mail is, how I can get this mail. I got mail of Ireland, I just entered in and I got it. That's the only reason. There's no other reason why it is from UK or from India. There's no other relation to that. I have been using it since then. In the beginning I got something else, I Hotmail, I just discontinued that. It has taken a lot of time to open that, so I got this one, and I've been using it for decades now. 1 decade at least it is, or 2 decades, whatever it is. Now I come back to our system, our economy, Bharat. We are proud being called Bharat. We have good pride. I am pride, or I am having good pride. I am a production of this country. I am production of Bharat. I am product. I am baby of Bharat. I am now the senior of Bharat. I have been young of Bharat, youth of Bharat. I have been student of Bharat. I have been engineer of Bharat. I have been a professional of Bharat. I have been a citizen of Bharat. I have been a voter of Bharat. I have been an honor of Bharat, and I have been in all aspects, in all say I have belonged to Bharat, and Bharat belongs to me. I am integrated to Bharat relatively, not originally. Originally, I am from God. You are from God. All come from there. That is permanent home. But for me, for duration of life, I'm living here. You may consider this earth as jail, or you may consider as a large area, whatever you consider. Now I belong to Bharat, India. I am citizen of Bharat. I am meant to live for this. My objective is to develop as much as I can do till I live on this earth, or till I am able to work for this country. Nothing else. Though I belong to world, my duty is also to develop world, and I have worked at. I got opportunity to work for other countries, and I did that to my best possible caliber, to my best possible knowledge, to my best possible potential. I never did any dishonest work. I always worked in interest of work. I always worked to develop this earth. I worked in interest of my conscience. I worked in interest of my mind and in interest of the whole world. That was my principle as a person, as an individual. I did not try to cheat myself. I did not try to cheat others until it was required due to some unknown reason. But I am a product of God. I am a product of this country. I have to respond to God. I don't know what God is that, what name that God has, what religion that God has. I don't bother about that. I only bother that I'm a part delivered to this earth from that power, whichever that power is, and I have to respond to that power for what I have done here. That is what I say. When I do something, I perform in my profession, or I perform somewhere else. I perform in individual capacity. I perform as a member of society. I perform as a member of a nation. I perform whatever, wherever I work, on a project or non-project or an office or whatever. On whatever I think and do for myself or for work, my profession, I consider this as an interest of God. I am disposing it as an order of God, for God's help, for his undertaking, not my undertaking. I just consider myself the medium of that God, nothing else. It doesn't matter what religion I follow. It doesn't matter what sect I follow. I consider that exclusively personal. No one has a right to ask anyone what God you follow, what religion you follow, what sect you follow, because all that is personal, and that doesn't materialize, that doesn't result in goods, that results only in understanding, in imagination, in imaginative relations, in your conscious, not in your body. Conscious is a more important body, soul is more important body that I consider is. Howsoever, now I come back to point, and that point is about our Bharat, about our economy. I discussed yesterday, which you might have heard or you might not have heard. If you are interested in this subject, you can view that video, and there are many videos I put on the YouTube, on our this Facebook. I put many videos previously. I tried to put on YouTube, but I saw difficulties on YouTube when I put this on live on YouTube, because I'm not a subscription there. I don't pay anything to YouTube, so they don't take it for seriously. Whereas this Facebook is better than I feel is better than YouTube. So I started putting videos on this there. So if you go to my profile, my page, P is Suraj, and there you go to my video section, you will find all video available there. You can go through them if you are interested. If you're not interested, it's your choice. No forces there. I don't care how many people watch that or don't watch that, because my job I am doing, my responsibility I am doing. It's up to people of this country, people of world, whether or not they have any interest in my talks or they don't have any interest in my talks, because no one can force anyone. I can only request, if you want to share with me my experience, you are most welcome. Share it, write to me, talk to me. I'll be happy that at least you have generated interest in yourself to know something about that, because I'm not talking films, I'm not talking cricket, I'm not talking football, I'm not talking religion, I'm not talking politics, I am talking something else. Even if my political talks you see there is no question of whom I like or whom I don't like. Only question is how to improve system of our country in this political environment. We want clear politics, we want clean politics where I feel proud to join. I am also interested to serve my country in a status as a politician, but I don't name that politician. I don't want to call myself politicians, because there is no other politician in our constitution. There is nothing as such. We don't believe in politics in constitution. We don't believe in any political party in constitution. We don't believe in anything as such. We don't believe in elections of prime minister or constitution. We believe in people in constitution. Our constitution, we people of Bharat, we people of India. That is my understanding. We talk as we people and we respond as we people. Our constitution is a clear mirror of our society, that there is no political politics, there is no party politics, there is nothing as such. There is no dynamic politics, there is no passive politics, there is no lying politics, there is no cheating politics, there is no politics in Constitution of India and Constitution of Bharat, if it is clearly. No place for political party, no place for prime minister election. Only place is for public election for Lok Sabha members, where I can be a Lok Sabha member, you can also be a Lok Sabha member. Anybody of 132 crore people or 90 crore voters can be Lok Sabha members. That is my constitutional right, and I can claim that if I want, if I think I am able to serve that. But my first priority would be to serve society without being elected as member of parliament, because member of parliament, once you are elected, you shall also be bound by Constitution of India in certified way. You may be restrained, you may not be able to speak openly due to many binding factors. Maybe you belong to some party, maybe you are independent, maybe you are appointed, nominated, depends. But I shall like to work for society without having any liability of public, without any seat. If I am elected, you are elected, most welcome, you are welcome. Though I have no plans to join any politics so far, I am not interested to become a politician, or because I don't consider politics as a good word in country of like ours. Though politics is very good, if you know politics, if you understand politics, politics is a word which is a service word, which is serve your society without any greed, without any avarice, without any ambition. But that is not happening. That has not been happening since Constitution came into being, into force. We are just looting our constitutional powers. We are just looting our nation in terms of political scandals. We are looting politics. We are looting everything directly or indirectly. But we are not serving nations. So my politics is not politics. My politics is service to nation, service to society, service to myself, service to my neighbors, service to my community, service to my state, and service to my nation again, and service to the whole world. That is my politics is. This is not defined in the Constitution, but it is my understanding, my thought, my claim If you can claim, you are most welcome. If you want to serve your nation, you are most welcome. Serve without political achievement, serve without seat of politics. Don't go to become MLA or MP. You can serve otherwise also. You fight for the rights of people, you fight for the rights of the state, you fight for your rights, you fight for rights of studies, you fight for rights of betterment of this country. You can do many things. You can write, you can fight, you can speak, you can make videos, you can talk to people, you can talk to leaders, you can talk to anybody, you can achieve to, you can go to any department, any of, if you have time. If you are not constrained of time, if you are not short of time, if you have time, you can do whatever you want. This is your choice, your ambition, your country, your nation, your society. You are born of this society. You are a product of society. You have to repay to this society. Society is spent for you. You spend for society. Spend doesn't mean spend money. It means spend time, spend capacity, potential you earn, your education, your caliber. You can use for others who don't have that caliber, who don't have that limit. There are hundreds and thousands of people who cannot compete with you, and there are hundreds and thousands above you with whom you cannot compete. It's all, we are powerful as well as we are inferior. We are superior and we are inferior, but in practice there is no superior. And then if I can do something for someone, I will do it. I will be placed to do it. If I can do that, if I do have that position, that caliber, that character, that power, that potential, if I can have some third person, second person, fourth person, I shall try to do that. And this time I'm doing this means of video is also saying direction, is leading the same direction. I am telling people, I am advising them, I am suggesting them this can be done this way. If they can understand, they can multiply it by their proliferation of this dissemination. They can disseminate further to others. That is what is chain reaction. It's not a chain reaction only in nuclear science. It is a chain reaction in society as well. This is called social change. This is called social development. This is called social engineering. This is called social technology. Not only engineering technology, social technology. You can change mind. Your talks can impact people. Your talks can impact society. Your talks can make think. They can make things students think. You can make think youth. You can make think middle people. You can make others think about what you talk. Maybe they don't accept you 100%. They may accept you 2 points out of 20 points. Okay, at least something is acceptable. Or if they hear you even without accepting you, that is also an achievement because at least you are heard. That is most important. Well, I'm not forcing something. Again, I'm telling you, it is just interaction, talk. I am expressing my opinion to you. It's up to you whether you accept this opinion or you reject this opinion. Even rejection is also acceptance. Because once you reject, second time you reject, but third time you have to think why I'm rejecting. A question will come to you itself. This gentleman or this useless man is talking to you every time, every day, or alternate day, or some other days regarding many issues, many subjects, many topics. And I will say he's a fool, he's a stupid, or he has free time, maybe he doesn't need ability in politics, he doesn't time in society, he doesn't study, he's an old man, he has no work, maybe he's not responsible. That's why he's talking. Early morning, gets up and talks, awakens us. That thought may come to you. Okay, that's the right thought. Because you have at least the content in you, you have at least the desire in you to reject me, and I welcome that. Okay, I'm rejected, but I'm not neutralized. It is a negative word. Okay, I accept, but not zero award. Because negative is very important for me. If I know negative means it's the kind of opposition to me, and I respect opposition because opposition teaches me. Opposition tells me where I am wrong. If everything is given to me positive, oh, you are right, and you are right, I condemn that. Because other person only can tell me where I'm wrong. That person is my friend who tells me you are wrong here. Someone challenges me, I accept that. If someone, oh no, you are very nice. Oh, you very, very nice you are. Those persons are criminals for me. Because all the time they will say yes, 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 and yes. This means they don't think for me. They just show me that they are making a favor to me. No, I don't want the favor. If someone tells me I am right, I say, okay, I can be right once, I can be right twice, I can be right 5 times, but at least one of 5, 6 times I can be wrong. After all, I'm a human being. How is it possible that I cannot make mistakes? It's not possible. I'm not God, I'm a human being. I'm like a social animal. I have a right to make mistakes, but mistake cannot be repeated. That is important. I can mistake by ignorance. I can mistake by ill thinking. I can make mistakes by wrong calculation of my formula. That can lead me to mistake. That happens. But I have to ditch out that mistake. I have to check that mistake. And if my friend tells me, here you are wrong, you made this error, I have to thank you. I have to thank that man that who brought to my attention my error, and that person is a real friend to me, though he is doing opposition to me, but that opposition is positive to my consideration, while it is negative to that consideration. I consider that point welcome point, because he thought for me. He picked up a negative point that I delivered, and he exposed that to me, projected to me, and I corrected that. He provided one opportunity to me to make my mistake right. That is what is required. These days, what is happening, if somebody criticizes someone, he is considered enemy. I don't understand this type of brain. They have a brain, or they have a cow dung in their brain, I don't know. I should not call that cow dung, but fact is that these people are like that. In politics, this is happening now. This is rubbish. Now I'm talking about our country, our economy, that we have pride in. Yesterday I had preliminary discussion about our country, what we have, what our country gives to us, how do we think about our country in relation to other nations. I quoted practical and virtual zones. As I said, this is zone, Europe zone, this is Far East zone, and this is, you can say, African zone, this is, you can say, West zone, this is Middle East zone. There are many zones defined, I explained yesterday, and these zones are virtual and practical. You cannot define that. These zones are not mentioned anywhere in UNO. These zones are not mentioned anywhere, but in 2019 there has been development, and these zones are coming in power. In future, these may be considered zones. We are in Asian zones. We are in, you can say it's India zone, Bharat zone, or subcontinental zone. India was every time called a subcontinent. Bharat subcontinent. We were never called a nation in terms of practical life. Though in UNO we are a nation, but our status was considered as India subcontinent, Bharat subcontinent, Bharat Mahadip, Upahadip. Now we are there. We are a big country of big people, big society, and we are having very good area of. We have a long, we can say, if you go to north to south and east to west, it's thousands of kilometers long distance. It's not simply 100 square kilometers or 200 like many countries in Europe. If you go to few small countries, you will find very small countries. So there are many now. European Union itself, 28 nations. They are nations by name. They are nations by titles. They are nations in consideration of UNO. They are nations in consideration of UNO, EU Parliament, European Parliament. In their laws, they are nations. But if you consider, if you take into your consideration their population, their wealth, it's not very, you can say, attractive. It's very small. Our UP state is so big, it can contain many views. Our many other states are so big that can contain many countries. So we are not only a country or a nation, we are a multi-society. We are multi-religious people, we are multicultural people. We have a different problem, we have different culture, different backgrounds. Our history is varying. If you go to south, it's varying history, and consider the comparison to north, it's all different. They are Dravidian people. We are not Dravidians. We are a mixed race in north. We are not even original people in this country. Those are original in the south. If you go to Tamil Nadu, if you go to some, you see their features. See, our features are completely different. There's a racial difference, but that is out of consideration because we don't talk race and we don't talk about. A fact remains a history. History cannot say no. There are so many societies in our country which migrated to Iran and Iraq long back, and hundreds and many hundreds of back. People migrated. Now it's called Iraq and Iran, and it's called, you can say, Turkey and all these Gulf countries. People came to our country, and they called themselves Aryans, but they were not Aryans. They were Mughals. They came from those countries. Now they are claiming themselves to be ruler of this country. They are in fact Mughals. Well, I cannot prove that, but I talked to many people, and these people migrated from those areas, which is now Iran and Iraq. And if you combine these two, Iraq and Iran, just make this combination of this Iran plus Iraq, and just make a short form of this, you will start with IR, you will end with AN. Aryan, it is called Iranian term to twist it as a word in the Aryan, it is called. Themselves, they call Arya Samaji or Aryan. These people came to Bharat from these countries. Aryan is a different word in our Sanskrit language, but that is in fact Aryans, they call themselves. Well, that's something else, and ignore that. And just for reference to you, so that you understand what I'm talking, where I'm referring to. This only reason I'm explaining to you this. When I go study the economy about our country, I have put many texts. Again, I'm referring to you on this video. You can read those texts and know what I'm talking about. I am talking about something which is very different. Now, every country has certain basic requirements. We too have. Now we say education. is one part, health is another part, finance is another also part, then business is one part, commerce is one part, then security is a part. There are so many parts in every society which make a society and which transfers reliability on society, and society transfers reliability on those. If we don't have these interconnections with all these spectrums, we cannot get ourselves moved. Education is number one, and before education is birth. Birth, how you are born, how we are pulled on after being born, that's very important, because first education comes from mother. Society, you can say. Mother doesn't mean exclusive mother, but society, your neighbor, your community where you are born, how you are taught up to 5 years of age, 10 years of age, how you are born, how you are fed up, how you are taught your technical words, your non-technical words. My question is, why I'm calling technical words and non-technical words? Technicalities starts from very beginning of life. If I am born, I am fed up by mother, I am given food, I am brought up, I am taught by society, I am taught by my seniors. Seniors mean those elder to me. They teach me something, but that I don't consider that as a class. I don't consider that as education, because that is not a part of formal education. That is a part of inter-exchange. If somebody teaches me, you speak this word for this, you don't speak like this, speak like that, don't walk like this, walk like that, don't sit like this, sit like that, don't stand like this, stand like this, keep your head straight, keep your this and that. So many directions are given to a kid to develop. That is also a part of education. Wear clothes, don't wear like this, don't go without clothes, don't expose your body, keep it protected from sun. That is also a part of education, because life starts moving from the day you come out to this world. You are welcome to this world. Before that, you were inside a chamber of some person where you were manufactured. You were treated differently. You were in darkness. There was no light. There was no air transfer directly. There was no electric supply transfer directly. You were in a dark chamber for 9 months, and you come out as a production of God, as a production of society, being a member of the society and member of this country. After that, what happens? You are getting fed up. You are getting food. You are getting through some means, and up to 5 years of age, you are some to some extent ready for formal education, and you join your schools. This happens. Question is, what type of education is being imparted by our society in this country and also in other countries? Primarily speaking, all our thinking is same, way of thought is same, contemplation is same. Every society in this world intend to see their kids, their students grow up in an efficient way, in a way that they become good citizens of their respective countries, and they work for nation and work for world. But that is in theory, that is only in philosophy, in plans. But does it happen? What I am saying is, in our country or in any country, we grow up a child. When we grow up a child, do we teach that child what life is? Do we teach that child what nature is? Do we teach that child how he is living or she is living? We don't teach that. We just care for food, we just care for medicines for that child, and we just care that our child should get very good admission into very high profile convent school or high profile KG school. That is our whole idea, exclusive idea behind our bringing up capacity of that child, and that is not manageable. In fact, that is not 100% required. What is required is that child should know, should understand where that person is living, that kid is living, and what he is learning from nature or is learning from society. No mother is ready to teach, no mother is ready to answer all questions a boy or a girl, an infant asks for. There are many issues. Well, we talk about this primary education, this middle education, secondary high school, higher education, and then further higher professional education. These are all varying sections of education that make up a boy, that make up a girl, that make up a youth, and then that youth performs for further higher educations and get up professional educations, non-professional educations, vocational educations. What I am saying is, we are now interested in this country and also in other countries of all nations to be very well educated people, highly educated people. I want, you want, everybody wants that we should have very high profile persons to work. But to work where, we are not sure. We want our kids to be professionals like doctors, like engineers, like accountants, like company secretaries, like administrative servants in government, like high profile government servants, like scientists, like architects, and like. But is that adequate? We should think as society, not as an individual or a family. We should think as a body in this universe, in this earth. We should think that way. We should think, is it adequate consideration that I should be an engineer or doctor? Is that only limited way, or computer engineer or a medico? Is that adequate to constitute a society in a competent way, in a consistent way? Is our education giving what is required? Is our education producing or checking or testing a boy or a girl or a student, what a student thinks about or what a student should not think about? These are issues. If my mind is trained to think, that is better, or my mind is trained to memorize, that is better. Which one is better? If I memorize something and somebody asks me, I repeat whole memorized silicon chips in my mind, all memorized file in my mind. But if same thing is asked in an instant checking, is for example, table. Students are taught table. Pahadas in our language we use the pahadas. Now they call it table. Somebody says, "Oh, I know up to 20. I know up to 30. I know all this." Okay, you know it very good. Okay, tell me, what is 15 into 9? Or what is 18 into 9? Or 18 into 7? You ask someone, no one will reply to you. Maybe somebody replies, I am not claiming that no one can reply, but in general, in common talk, you randomly ask someone while walking on road or walking on the street, or just meeting someone who says in 12th class or 10th class or 9th, you just ask anyone, or someone, some boy or girl. You will not get answer, I am sure. They won't say. Yes, some person can say, some boy girl can say because they are smart, maybe hardly 5% of those, but they won't say. Oh no, no, I don't remember. Yeah, I can just tell you whole, you will start 15 to 1, 19 to 1 like that. This means that study has not been done analytically. That is a memorized file, nothing else. If that boy or girl knows up to 20 or 25 all these tables by memorizing, I don't think that is a consistent way of learning. Maybe you think. Consistent, what is meaning of learning? When we go to school, when we go to colleges, universities, high profile, or to work, what do we get? Do we get real education or do we get memory parrot? What we get? If some kid knows only memory, he has got developed memory, whole mind is full of this. He knows poems, he knows everything. He tells you everything. This is poem, this is story, this chapter, this is film, this is that. This has a strong memory. I understand that. I agree with that. I approve that. Yes, very good memory, very good silicon chips in working brain. But that is not interconnecting. That is not coordinating from cell to cell. That is most important. What happens in Excel chart? Have you ever used this Excel file, a Microsoft Excel? Just an example. I'm not going to Microsoft files. What does Excel do? Microsoft, we know Microsoft Word gives typing, and you can say Microsoft PowerPoint with presentations. All programs give something, but Excel is a different file in Microsoft itself about which even Microsoft doesn't know fully. Because Microsoft given infrastructure, a structure in filing, in working, but they did not do that originally. They copied from Lotus 123, and Lotus 2 did not do it originally. They copied from someone else. So copying from Lotus to Excel and Excel, further inventing that, further working on that and delivering something which they themselves are unaware of. They try to say that this is ours, but this is not theirs as well. Have you ever worked on Excel? If you have worked, do you know something about Excel? Do you know everything? You will say, oh, this is just graphics and this is just calculations and formulas and that. No, Excel is a very big file. This is a computer cell attached to all cells. Computer is attached to all cells. And it is scientific connection. It is not an ordinary algebraic connection. It is an ordinary calculation. It is a complete calculation. You try yourself. You can completely form applications on Excel. Any application, whatever application is running, scientific or non-scientific, you can constitute, you can compose on Excel sheets. I've tried many times. It happens, it works, but it takes time. You have to be patient to formalize that. If you try yourself, you can understand what I'm talking about. Excel is very big format to a consideration of working formula. It's not simply cells. It's not simply auto sum. No, not at all. You can do multiplication on that by using formula. You can do division on that. You can do square root on that. You can say trigonometrical formula on that. You can find a geometrical formula on that. You can find what you want to. Next, the calculations are constant automatically. This work. You can constitute this actual, computerize this in a way a software is developed. You can say semi software, para software can be developed based on your formula. You can develop an engineering formula. We say auto stat pro is a, yes, stat pro is a cop. They have a link to AutoCAD. They have a link to Lotus 1, 2, 3. That's, they don't tell you, but it happens. It's concealed form. It's not an open form. But I'm telling you, it's this one. Same thing I'm telling about society and education. We are educating ourselves in a memorized form. We must know that memory does not work in life. It works to some extent. Your this tables works to some extent. If you remember how many 15 to 10 is this, so I go to market, you send your kid to market and tell this is 500 rupees note, you go and buy these 4 items, and once this child comes back, do you take calculations, do you take accounts of that? If you ask your child, give me account of what you purchased and how much you spent, what is the balance with you, show me, did you check in market? That is called arithmetic, that is called mensuration. It's a practical application of mensuration. It's not simply passing certain questions in examinations. I am learned, no, you are not learned. You just passed your questions which were asked for, but it was not applied in life. Gita says, until you know something, don't apply that, you are not a learned person. Krishna said that. Why I'm going to, because Krishna is a scientist. I understand him as a doctor, as an engineer, as a scientist. Every profession he has earned. So he says application is very important. Here application means knowledge application, which is a practice, which experience. Without experience, you are useless. You may be having whatever degree in profession of engineering, in profession of medical, or in profession of accountancy, or whatever else profession, or even BA, MA you have. If you don't have any idea how to implement that knowledge, your knowledge is zero. It is just paper, nothing else. Those people used to do commercial in old days, those lalas so-called, baniyas so-called, those people who did not have any qualification, formal education, just the 8th or 9th pass, they used to say, but if you say the calculation power, their mathematical power, on tips they could count Rakti, Masa, Tola and all that. FPS, and before FPS system, you remember, we call FES, MKS, IS, all this. In those days, FPS was there, before FPS was also there. So they could count in fractions of crores, which you can't even take now. If somebody asks, this is 4 rupees, 10 rupees, he opens out the calculator, how many 2 rupees, 2 plus 4, 3, this, oh, okay, give me this much. This is what's happening on all shopkeepers and counters. They go to buy something, they cannot even count on the keeping, okay, take this. Is that education, we call it? Are these shopkeepers not educated to 12th standard or 8th standard? Our kids are, how many of us know mathematics? Whole universe is moving on mathematics, nothing else. Whole system is mathematics. You see nature, go and study nature. Have you ever studied? You are MA, you are BA, you are PhD, you are engineer, doctor. Okay, I don't talk about engineer, doctor, because doctors don't know mathematics. Engineers, of course, know mathematics, but they don't relate it to basic requirement. Now, what I am talking is, if I read nature, if I understand nature, it's the biggest teacher since I was born until I die. My teacher is sun, my teacher is moon, my teacher is 5 elements of life, my teacher is system, that is moving solar system. This is based on a complete absolute mathematics, well designed and accurate, and its designer is God, whom I believe or whom I claim to believe. That is my designer, that is my engineer, that is my philosopher, that is my scientist, and that is everyone, because his system is working. It is called universal working, universal motion. It never stops. It has been working since it was delivered to this universe. This means before delivery, there must be an application of something. There must have been an application of how it could be constructed, and this application could have brought how it could be designed for this construction, and that must have drawn some value, how it was defined in mathematics. This mathematics was generated in some time. When mathematics was generated, means negative and positive signs were generated, negative and positive values were generated. How metal could be produced must have been generated from sky or from somewhere. How could this volume of Earth and volume of Jupiter and volume of Sun, all these planets, how many cubic meters and millions of cubic meters they count would have been generated? There must have been scientific background about that. You cannot simply say we are scientists in this world only. We only know science and nature is not scientist. Nature is father of scientists. Nature is grandfather of scientists. Without having notion being scientist, you could not develop science on earth. This is very important. Science means a level below knowledge, and knowledge means God knowledge. Knowledge is Gyan, knowledge is Vedas, knowledge is Vidya. Vidya we call it in Hindi, Sanskrit, Vidya. Vidya means Diya, Diya means knowledge. We have knowledge. That knowledge comes from where? That knowledge comes from nature. If we read nature, we know knowledge. How sun works, how Soramandal or you can solar system is work, how universe moves, how we reach that 24 hours day constitute 24 hours, because it is because of mathematics, and we know mathematics from this universe is working on many formulas of mathematics, centrifugal force, centrifugal volume in space, temperature in space, temperature within space and without space. All this scientific understanding we got now. We are talking a lot about science and engineering that we have enriched this ourselves, we have reached this, but we have not reached even a 0.001% of what God has delivered to us already. This system is complete equilibrium. It has no dynamism to clash with each other. And million and thousand crores of years have lapsed. This hasn't working there still no. They call Parle had come. I don't believe in all that. Your system has been there, sun has been working, moon has been working, earth has been working, all systems are getting, every we are getting, at night we are sleeping, all is happening and we are getting benefit of that without even considering what we are getting for. We are not paying anything to these, but we are still enjoying those facilities. We are every day getting sunlight for about 10 to 12 hours a day or 8 hours a day. We are getting benefit of sunlight, we are getting benefit of air, we are getting benefit of rain, we are getting benefit of each and every natural agency we are using, but we are not even analyzing and thinking about that. We are just ignoring that. We are thinking about only those which we do ourselves by our own efforts. So this body also is not made by us. This body also a production of God. This is a complete manufacture itself. If you consider your body itself, you will know what nature is. This body was constructed without any plant, without any specific mechanism. It started from one you can say one electron. It started just from one electron which you call sperm, and it produced you. And still it is working until you are living in this world. And until you die, it shall keep on working. Your breath never stops even for 1 minute. You keep respirating, though you are sleeping, your body is working. Your body is dreaming you. Your aura is working. Your body completely working. Blood is moving in circulations. Your all body working. Nerve system is working. Your intestines are working. Your heart is working. Your mind is working, though you are sleeping. And when you are awake, it's still working. It's working in a professional way, a better way. So this is a plant, this is a machine, this is an equipment where my soul is inside, and it's used. This my soul is using this body, this equipment, this machine, which is, can you call it generator, you can call whatever you want. You can call it as a robot, or you may call it a living robot, or whatever you can call it, no problem. Question is, this is a design of nature. If I understand my body, how it was built, I can understand engineering, because there is complete reverse. Our engineering and God's engineering in opposite direction. God does something from one thing and spreads the whole, while we design parts by parts. When we design a car, cannot design a car in full. Okay, this is a small thing, it will spread automatically. No, it will not develop automatically. By virtue of its power, it cannot develop. You have to develop engine, you have to develop steering, you have to develop accelerator, you have to do automatic braking, or automatic, whatever you develop in car, complete mechanism you have to develop one by one, and you have to make its tires, you make its body. Means each part you have to develop and design. You are not developing full car, you are not developing full railway engine, you are not developing anything in life, in engineering. And medical cannot develop. Medical can treat. Doctor cannot say anything. No doctor knows complete system of body till now, all over body. My brain is working. How it is working, doctors can't answer. They will say something irrelevant. No doctor can tell you even today how man is living, how body is living. And no one can tell you how body dies. They can know how body operates. They can treat your body where there is a defect or your sickness. They can operate body in some parts. They can do some limited work. But they don't know complete knowledge about body. They can know knowledge by dissections of dead bodies. They dissect dead bodies once you join MBBS classes. They tell you this is that, and this is system working, how it is working. And this is what is happening. We are very Limited, we are having very limited knowledge, very limited information from nature. So what I am stressing to talk about this is that we have to understand nature first. What is science? I explained to you before also. Science is nothing. It is just a real observation, a successful observation to know from nature, which is a knowledge in itself, how it is systemized, how it is organized. If I understand certain system that is working around, that is called science. Gravity is there, how we understood. We understood so many things about gravity. Newton got some innovation. How he got? He was not a scientist. He was not qualified person, but he got something. Einstein got something. There was some boiling water, and one cover of that pot rose up. It started steaming. Oh, this steam can raise up this pot. We studied all this in books. So science developed because of very small applications. That is development of science. Science never developed because of power plants. Power plants are working, you can say power plants are generating power because of small applications of sciences. Railway is moving because of small applications of wheel could be generated. If there had been no circle, there would be no wheel, what train would do? Nothing, it would stay there, no bus would do. This means a small circle has moved this world dynamically. Dynamism has come because of this whole wheel, and that is zero. I will not go to talk of zero now because I'm talking of something else. I'm talking of economy, nation economy. What I had said, education. This I started from primary education, middle education, and education higher than that. How do we understand? How do we ensure that a kid in first standard to 5 standard and then to 8th standard and to 12th standard is really understanding what education is? This person, this student, he only knows answers of questions, answers to questions, and then gets 95% marks. But does he know really what for he got marks? Or just marks because he has rightly answered questions on examination paper and that's it got? But did that student really understand what he learned? If he cannot apply tables, he cannot apply countings, if that student cannot apply science, though he learns science, student learns science, learns physics, learns chemistry, learns mathematics, learns trigonometry, learns so many subjects, arts, etc., and so many subjects which are not clear to me what subjects are there these days. But whatever I learned, I'm just referring to those sources and telling all this. If I don't understand those subjects, what is the use of this education? This means I know answers only the day I write paper or I appear in Vivavos, and after that I sleep, I enjoy my time, my holidays, my vacations, and when I get results, I feel jumping. Oh, very good, I'm passed. I got 70% marks, I have 90% marks, and I have to go to next class. If that is only education, I condemn that, and you have to condemn that. If it does not teach me what I learned, I have to learn how I to apply this. That is complete nonsense. Now I take one example. I give 2-3 examples here. Let's say one. Suppose I'm boiling some milk in a pot on gas burner, a gas chula. You know what you do when there's a milk there? You just keep in moving timely from for say 2 minutes, 3 minutes. You open the cover and again do like this, revolving with some spoon, so that it should not. They say that otherwise will settle on this base and spoil base. My consideration is not that. That is protection measure, that you are not allowing this milk to burn your body, or you can settle there and make it cushion type. I don't want that. I'm not considering that. My consideration is different. When we burn from below pot, it's heat. This heat's burning. Temperature of that part where it applies first, that is higher temperature, and temperature of top where milk top surface is, where surface tension acts or doesn't act, where heat reaches at last moment, that is having lower temperature. Why do you do this? Stirring. Why you do this? What is the reason? I think that this heat should uniformly spread into whole mass of milk, whole quantity of milk that is contained in that pot. And I want uniformity in heat temperature, though it cannot be maintained because there is a depth, say 15 centimeter or 10 centimeter depth of milk in that. I cannot maintain uniform temperature constantly from top to bottom, but I can reduce this. If suppose there is 50 degrees here down or 40 degrees Celsius at bottom, and there is 10 degrees Celsius or 5 degrees Celsius at top, there is a difference of 30 degrees Celsius. This 30 degrees Celsius in a depth of 15 or 10 centimeter, what does it mean? Do you think, can you think that? If there's a temperature of 30 degrees Celsius in a volume of small volume of milk, say 1 liter milk, 2 liters milk, if you're getting 30 degrees Celsius difference in a depth of 10 to 15 centimeter, what does it technically mean? What does it mean? What does it mean in science? I say that this 30 degrees Celsius is a gradient. This is a gradient of 30 degrees in a depth of 15 centimeter of milk. This is called thermal gradient. This is called heat gradient. Means heat in downside, in bottom side is in higher temperature than upper side. So what I do, I try to minimize this thermal gradient. And there's only one way, bring that heated element, heated metal from bottom to up. And that can be done only by this. Means from walls of that pot, from bottom of that pot to top free surface of that pot, which is exposed to surface tension when I remove cover. And when I keep cover, there is no surface covering. Whole mass is within that chamber of pot. This is called thermal gradient reduction. Though it's not given in any book, you will not find this in any thermal engineering book or in applied thermodynamics. But this is an application of applied thermodynamics, which is a very high profile subject in engineering and mechanical engineering particularly. I'm talking about that because of the daily life, the general application of science. If one understands this, I am trying to reduce this thermal gradient from 30 degrees to 5 degrees only. If I bring 30 degrees temperature at bottom and 25 degrees at upper layer, this means there is not exactly uniformity in temperature, but near uniformity is there. I am using heat power. In addition, I am not losing heat element in that. I am not losing energy, otherwise it would have go out into air. I am just trying to reduce time of boiling of my milk. This means less energy is consumed. Is this not thermal application? Is it not application of science? Is it not called applied thermodynamics? It's the application of applied thermodynamics. Because thermodynamics, there's a movement of heat that's called thermodynamics. The thermal energy is moving around my pot. I'm trying to use that to an optimum advantage, to avoid wastage of energy, and that is what is application of science. Does any woman think that way? Does any man working in kitchen think that way? Nobody thinks that way. Why don't you think? Same thing applies to water boiling. Same thing applies to tea making. Same thing applies to every item we working in kitchen, even for cooking your chapati, even making your rice, or what is working in your pressure cooker itself. This happens. This is the application of thermodynamics. But we don't understand. We understand physically what we are doing, and that's oh, this is a cooking job. Why are you taking? Why interfering? This is not engineering. Go home. I'll do myself. Don't worry about that. This happens. It's not question of ignoring. It's not condoning that. Question is, it's energy. Energy is to be preserved, because same energy can work for better items, for more items, but we are wasting that energy, and energy cannot be wasted. We know in science, it's a principle, energy can be preserved, energy can be used, but it cannot be wasted. It will stay there itself. You cannot destroy energy. It will be staying. It's staying in air. We know all that. The pollution itself is an energy. What I stated is, someone has to explain to that kid who is in primary education, who is in school education, but he sees this daily. Every student sees it daily, that this woman or this mother or sister or whoever cook is working in kitchen and doing this, but this is not understood why it is done. That's all. This is not understood. Another example I can take. For example, we take kids to gardens, to trees, to plants, to see grains. We never explain to them what all this. First of all, we never explain what does grain mean. We don't explain. We don't explain what does air mean. Air, which we every time breathe in, without which we cannot survive. People even don't know what air is. People don't know composition of air. They say, oh, this is subject of science. Yes, this is subject of science, but this is like common sense also. We say oxygen. Air doesn't have oxygen alone. Air is oxygen, air is nitrogen, air is argon, air is ethane, methane, propane, butane. So many gases are there. You say, what are you talking about? From where ethane has come? Where from methane has come from? Yes, these come in air. Why don't you understand? We are living. There is no separate air for all. There is common air for all. Same air is breath is respirated by me, which is also respirated by a bullock. It's also released by cow and buffalo, which is also released by a dog, also by birds. All use same air. There is no sectioning air. There is no sectional tank like water is stored in sectional tank. I am using same air which you are using, which a dirty person is using, which a septic tank is releasing. Hydrogen sulfide tank is that is coming into air. This sewage offensive smell is also coming into air. How can you remove that? This explosives that you are releasing in the air, fireworks or bombs or whatever fumes from chimney of an industry that is coming into air, where is going is ultimately it is coming to me and you in diluted form, but it is coming. But we never observe that. My air is not different. I can't say it is a pure air for me. Never ever. I have to breathe what cow is releasing. I have to use that. I am forced to use that. I can, even if I put mask on my nose, I shall have a part of that into my nose because I have to live. Do we teach this to a kid? Kid doesn't know what it is. He says, oh, I am breathing. Okay, you are breathing. Or what you are breathing is unclear to a kid. But this is a science subject. This is a practical subject which books cannot tell. No book, no author understands all this. They write from their perspective. All books are written based on syllabus of a class. It doesn't say more. If you write more, that book shall not be accepted because you are writing something not relevant to questions that have come to examination. Examination question syllabus is limited. They just put a silver line on that. No, please don't go beyond that because our kids cannot understand and there is no relevance because questions won't come from this and we want our students to pass, to get through that examination. That is the sole consideration. Is that way we can learn? We are restricting ourselves to a containment, to a defined area beyond which we should not move. And that's a very key to our learning. Why don't we keep it free? We cannot keep free because there is a confusion. The students cannot understand what we are talking about. They can understand what should be talked about. And that's it. I agree with that. Because students are limited minds. But for general knowledge, should students be not taught? I don't expect teachers to teach them. I don't expect books to teach them. But we being parents, we being siblings, or we being other relatives, or general public itself, do I have no right to teach common person, common student something which I know? Though students shall not receive it well, because this is not given as book. Students depends upon book, and that's right too, because student cannot think more than that. Student knows only what teacher tells, what teacher teaches him, or what book teaches him. If you ask student some question, oh, I have not been taught by our teacher, or we have known this chapter in so far, or this is not in the syllabus, you will get that type of classified answer. Well, that answer is classified, reliable, and agreeable. But is that adequate? Question. This student is not ready to receive something which is in excess of thoughts, in excess of course, or you can say it ultra wires text. You can say it ultra wires syllabus. Ultra wire I'm using because ultra wire is a legal one, but it's a practical one as well. I cannot learn something which is beyond my syllabus, which is beyond my examination, because I don't have time for that. I don't have money for that. I don't have potential for that, right? Right, you are, means I'm not criticizing you because you have limitations. Your mind is very small, your memory is very small. You want to use this memory to cram all your chapters, all your stories, all your mathematics, all your English, physics and chemistry, and your aim is only one to pass an examination, and that is right also because you have to pass that only in fixed time in a year. You are no 2 year for 1 year. So you cannot have luxury to know more about. You cannot afford any luxury. Fine. But once you pass your examination, then you have a time. You have holidays, you have free times. 1 year comprises of 12 months, and nobody studies for 12 months. That is also guaranteed. I can challenge it. No student can study for 12 months in a year. They hardly study in 2 or 3 months for passing examination. What about remaining period? They waste it. I don't say waste in the sense that they go for touring, they go to meet the people, they use this time for extracurricular activities. That's all right. Extracurricular activities are also required, but extracurricular activities is also an education. If you really tell them it's extracurricular, but you learn from that as well. For example, you do PT, physical training, play games, cricket games, walking game, or you can say running game. All this is also science. When you walk, you jump, you play, ultimately it affects your body. It doesn't mean that you relax. You are training your body. When you are playing, you are training your body. Your blood circulation is changing. Your freshness of your mind is changing. Your joints are opening. Your body is flexible. One is moldable, and that is getting molded. There's also an application of science there, but you are not aware of that. You are young, you are not taught of that. That's why you're not that. It's fault of your teacher, it's fault of the education system, which is not telling you where application lies with. If I know from every activity of my life what application it is a teaching, this is learning, this is a part of learning, but we are not taught that. We are taught only courses, syllabus, and that's it. You have to learn this. Play game, run, take competition, speak in drama, participate debates. All we do, but we don't know. If you participate in a debate, what do you think? It's not education, it's education. But you have to concentrate on debate. So what happens? Somebody is writing and you memorize that and speak. That is not learning. If I am given a debate topic and I have to appear in that debate, I have to take out details from somewhere, understand them, and then speak. That is called debate. It's not simply the cramming and speaking. It's not debate. So every activity in life of a kid, of a student, is a contribution to knowledge, is contribution to science, is contribution to society if it is properly done. It is done by means of thoughtful affairs, by means of using mind, not just craving. What happens? We just crave because we want to show that we won it. I don't believe in winning. I don't believe in prizes. My prize is my result. My prize is my achievement. My prize is my satisfaction, not award. I don't care about certification, citation. I don't care about that because somebody is checking me and giving me, and that's it, nothing else. If president is giving me award, it doesn't mean I'm big. Because someone recommended, and someone recommended because someone supported me, and that's all. That someone is also like me. If somebody recommended me for an award, it means that likes me, and that's it. Nobody checks what you did. Same thing same applies for Nobel Prizes even. This is all shosha, nothing. You can award yourself the prize, and your award is your result. Your award your potential. Your award your capacity to work, to participate. I don't consider failure as failure. Failure is success, because failure must be there to get success. If you don't say you are failed, you are false. You are lying. Everybody has to fail once in life, because failure is past. Because man is man, human is human. We are not God, we are not absolute. We have defects in everyone. We have mental defects, physical defects, memory defects, interconnection defects, coordination defects. Everybody has certain types of defects. And somebody says, no, I never failed, I think he never studied. If somebody says, I never made a mistake, I think he never worked. Nobody says, I never abused, I think he never used language. This is what I say. There must be an opposition to self. If I oppose myself, I am best teacher. If I find my mistakes, I am best one. Once you do something, don't forget it. Have a revision of that. Even though you qualified that, you got results of that, you passed your examination, even after that you study what you learned. Because you make mistakes, you are habitual. It is humanity. Everybody makes mistakes. I do make mistakes, but I have to review that mistake. I don't leave it to awards. I don't leave it to recognition. Because it is continuity. I have to work for that in one way or another way. That is life. That is award. When I say I'm not serious, what does it mean? It means I leave something in between, in its way I leave and come back. When I start something and reach there, I don't like it, or it's boring path, means I'm not getting anything, I'm not getting success. Why to waste time? Okay, leave it here, whatever time we should waste. That is called lack of seriousness. Seriousness means you have to do complete job and see the result. If you do complete job and you are successful, that is an award. Who can give someone award? Award means a comparison only. If somebody say is in a marathon race, this is the first one, this is the second one, this is third, they say there are three people there. But what's the difference in timings? Seconds, hardly minutes. Does that difference of minutes in to three persons make life? It's a lack of energy only somewhere. First one came first because of some, at that time he had more energy. Second remained seven because he lacked certain degree of energy. And third one had a little more loss. And all others also participated, but they didn't get that much. So it is a comparative energy. It is a comparative statement. It's nothing else. If I plan for something, I could not achieve 100%. This is a lack, and that is called a failure or nothing else. It's not a failure, in fact, it's a defect. It's a slag, you can say. It's a punch, you can say. You recover that. You rethink on that and rectify that. That is called life. That is called work. So why to criticize whatever you got? Important is participation. If you keep participation in life in a positive way, in a constructive way, you don't lose anything. You get something. Award is another issue. Award, if you have 50 awards, what will you do with that? I have no award in my life. I'm not unhappy with that. Okay, no problem. What was the award? What award would you, even if I was awarded, what I would do with that? To show peace on wall? But I have to perform. Even if I'm not awarded, or even if I am awarded, I have to perform. So life is different, and imaginations are different. Yes, we feel happy. That's fine. We celebrate. Okay, this again. I'm saying education is different. You have to educate yourself. If I take some kid with me and cross a road, and if I take that kid with me on pedestrian, I am an educator. I am an educator for that kid. Or if I did take a kid with me and don't use pedestrian and go somewhere else and cross that, I am a bad person for that kid, because kid doesn't know what pedestrian is, what red light is, and where I should cross or not. If you demonstrate that kid what you do, that would note your actions. Maybe that kid doesn't ask that, but that kid shall keep in mind, this my brother or my elder brother, my father or my relative took me on this pedestrian. What their pedestrian says, that kid has to keep that in mind, and that kid shall never forget that. Though may not express that, but keep in mind, oh, that day we crossed that pedestrian, so we had to go to cross the pedestrian. That is an education. It's not simply that kid has to work, has to learn it from that book. It is live demonstration. When you take your kid with you and go to the garden, go to tree, go somewhere, you never explain to that kid what this tree is about. You never explain to you, tell me what you think about this tree. Boy has to reply something, girl has to reply something, and you have to ask him, why can't this tree be grown on a road, on a footpath? You never raise those questions, and that kid also doesn't raise so, because nobody is interested in this. Oh yeah, this tree is very good for health. We say this. It's giving us oxygen in daytime, carbon dioxide night. We say this. But in roots we are not going. We are not going. Why trees are there? From where they come? How these are grown? What is the necessity of these? Nobody questions. Nobody talks about that. They plant trees, but don't explain why. Oh, it's for green. It's for pollution diminishing. It is for this and that. They just talk superficially, and nobody explains what is green. Even in an ecosystem, what does green mean? Nobody explains. Only, oh, first of all, green technology, green this and that. What green? From where is green? What is red in that case? What is amber in that case? Nobody talks. They only say green technology it is. What technology is green? They don't explain to kids. And this education, it starts as infancy. If if this kid is educated that this tree is required for this person, how it is grown, it takes it as soil is used, the rock is used in this root, or water is used, or heat is used. Nothing is explained to kid. Who will explain? Teacher shall not come there. This is not a part of syllabus. This is not a part of curriculum. Who will? How that guy? How this kid? Oh, this is soil. This is dirty. My hands will be dirty. This person will go with resistance. See that one. This is soil. This is very bad. This is water. Okay, this is not good for me. My clothes are getting bad. But basic education missed there. If you teach that kid that there is a tree, purpose of tree is this soil is for this purpose, and there are roots in that. This soil is mother. Without this soil, this can't be tree. And what type of soil is required for that? This kid doesn't know. That sand is not required, rock is not required, clay is required for that, water is required for that, sun energy is required for that, seed is required for that, or this is required for that. This person doesn't know. This boy doesn't know. This kid doesn't know. If that father or mother or whoever their guardian is, that person teaches that boy this is small technology. This is not technology. It's a common knowledge. Soil is required. This boy should this kid should understand what soil is. Why this tree is not grown on road? Why it can be grown footpath? Why it can be grown on rock? This is education part. How tree is grown. So this is nature. We are not teaching that. We are not teaching a student what does sun mean, how the sun rays help us, how the sun rays make our body, how this air make our body. We don't teach that. We say in dharma language, oh, panch tattva hona chahiye. Panch. This is not five. What's this? Panch tattva, we are doing five elements, but what five elements perform? Nobody is explaining. Always, this is my dispute with religious people. Always, all these pandits, sadhus. I raise questions, they don't answer. I feel angry. If you don't answer, if you don't do anything, you have never analyzed this, never understood this, never got explanation from someone, then why are you claiming yourself you know this? Why are you just doing all this worship, all these mantras for what for? Explain, people. Explain to me why you are speaking this. If you explain to me, I will understand. But nobody explains. Because I was also a kid, nobody explained. Still I am a kid because I am not sure of religion. I don't have any knowledge about religion, about dharma. It means in dharma spectrum, I am a kid. Though I am 65 years, but I don't have any knowledge of that because nobody taught me. And I never tried to discover how could learn. We only cram mantras, we only cram philosophy, we cram this and apply on our life without understanding what we are doing. So that is wrong. That is ill education. That is negative education. Means for them, it is just a job. Nothing else. Not learning. Oh, chant this mantra is good for you. That's it. Why I should chant some mantra is not explained to me. I don't know meaning of that mantra. It is in Sanskrit because I don't mind, but explain to me what is this. I asked many sadhus, they don't respond to me. Oh, you are educated and you don't believe in all this because you have pride in you. They simply answer that. Okay, I have pride in you, but you explain to me, you washed my pride. This is your job. You are sadhu, you are a teacher of society, you are a teacher of a nation, you are a teacher of a community. You tell me that. I want to learn from you. If you convince me, I will follow that. If you are not able to convince me and you force me to follow, why should I follow? It applies to all sects I am telling. I'm not telling only one sect. All sects, they don't explain because they don't have potential to explain because they have not learned it. They cannot explain. They just create a fear in you. All religions create fear in you. If you do this, this will happen. They just negativate that knowledge in you while it should be positivated. It should be affirmative in you. It is created in negative direction, which is not acceptable. Religions are sciences. No religion is philosophy. No religion is theology. No religion is faith. No religion is something blindness. It's all scientific. Nothing can evolve without science. Gayatri Mantra is science. What Krishna says is science. Everything is science. He explained it. Then people understood. Had Krishna not explained yada yada hi dharmasya, then how could he explain? He clearly explained full phrase of that, full stanza of this poem. Yada yada hi dharmasya galanir bhati bharate. It's complete meaning that. All these 4 lines gives complete explanation. You understand. Gayatri Mantra gives complete explanation. You understand. If you don't understand these, in the same thing applies in Bible. They explain something, they don't explain full. Same thing in the Quran also, they explain something. If explanation is available, you accept that. If it's not available, you don't accept that. Just empirical, no, don't do this. Don't go outside in the eclipse. This will harm. Don't go outside, it's not acceptable. He didn't say. Well, explain why should I not go? Explain scientifically, logically. It's a question of my life. It's a question of my positive negative effect. If I don't understand what you're talking nonsense, why should I accept that? Education is explanation. Education is elaboration. Education is answer of questions. I have some darkness in my mind. I want to remove that darkness, and that is called enlightenment of mind. If I'm not enlightened, it's no use of education. If my education doesn't give me anything of enlightenment, rubbish education. Why should I accept that? It's not question of degree or diploma. These are just measurements of education. What does degree mean? Any degree you got, I got this degree. It's just a measurement that you got this knowledge and that's it. It's not even 100% you got it. You got 35% marks means 35% you got it, 50% you got it, distinction you got it means you have learned to this level and not more than that. And that is a certification. But application is in your hand. It's not in university hand or college hand. If I am an engineer, I have to apply that knowledge in my field. Only then I can say it is right or wrong. I can understand what about that. Even it applies to BA or BA degree, MA degree, or whatever degree you have. You just keep at home and you search for a job and just say, I am educated and not getting a job. What job you will get? Because you don't know anything. Our primary education is defective. Our secondary education is defective. We just learn subjects. We don't learn life. If that kid doesn't know what is tree, how shall that kid respect that tree? If that kid doesn't understand, it takes so many hundreds years to have one exogenous tree grow in full absolute state. How can that person respect that tree when it's grown? No, we don't know. We don't respect nature because we don't know about nature. We don't respect air because we don't know about air. We are respirating air all times from beginning itself of our life, but we don't respect. We don't know about that. We don't know the oxygen element in that, the organ element, there's the nitrogen element. There. Nitrogen is coming from trees or plants somewhere else. Argon is coming, methane is coming, this is coming, that is coming. We don't know about that. What are bad effects of that gas? What is good effect of gas? And that is all part of education. We are not getting in. We are just getting education which is based by those people who are not educated, who just copied from somewhere and pasted in our books. This is what happened. It's not a question that I'm criticizing that. The question is, fact is this. If you don't think, if Newton never thought about that, if other scientists never thought about it, how would you got gravity formula? How would you got our steam formula? How would you got about that? We are not thinking. We are just using. We are not thinking about it even. Now, just tell me one example. The question is, did ever think C ever thought C is 10 kilometers, say ocean is 10 kilometers and C is 4 kilometers. We say, oh, what is C? It is. Do we ever discuss about that? We never discuss in society. We never discuss in issues, colleges and universities. We just leave it about, oh, we cannot go beyond 1 kilometer. Apply a principle of buoyancy and the ship can go at most this. Human can go to at most this level. What is beyond that level? We never try to think. We never try to think anywhere. We never try to think about mountain. We never try to think about earthquake. We never try to think about thunder. We never try to think about anything except our subjects. And our subjects are limited knowledge. These are not diverse knowledge. If you think about physics, there are a few chapters in physics you have to learn about that. Same thing applies to chemistry or inorganic organic chemistry or biological chemistry. Whatever you see, whatever you learn in your school and colleges, and that is your knowledge and that is your education. It is all over world like that. It's a little different in a West society where they stress on thinking, on analytical study, not on synthetic study, not on memory study. Our study is totally based on memory, and memory doesn't work. You can memorize. There's no need of study if you just depend on memory. You go to film, you watch film, you memorize that. There's no need of any teacher on that. You when you come out of seeing a cinema or a theater or something, or you go on the road and see some traffic moving, that all remains to your mind. Oh, there was a car going in like this, the bus aircraft is moving, go to airport and see so many people were there, and flights were taking off and taking and coming up and down. All you remember. So memory does, you see dreams, so dreams remain your memory. So memory doesn't need a teacher. Teacher is required for analysis purpose, for scientific purpose. Analysis means science. You also see each and every item of memory and understand that. That is called analysis and interrelate with those cells, and that is called coordination of mind. But we are not learning that. We are learning only when you go to field and you are beaten up, you are thrown out of job, then we learn. So what is the purpose of that? If I am not taught how to use my mind, what's the purpose of education? If I am taught how to, you're not taught how to use these tables, how to use my mathematics in my general life, how to use something somewhere, what is purpose left for education? And that is our weakness in our country. We just stress on memory and pass examination, and that is called that, nothing else. So we have to understand this. Where can we improve? How can we improve that? Our education system is a baseless system. We don't use our mind. We just rely on memory and pass examination. This happens from first standard to last standard. Even in universities it happens, in degrees it happens. Except in engineering and sciences, everywhere it happens. Everywhere, even chartered courses of accountancy, company secretarial courses, the other courses, there is no analytical study. Even in law, it's a complete memory. Even in medicals, in 50-50 it is. You memorize and understand. Don't think on that. This happens. What to do? Are we logical society? Are we living in a logical world? We are not living. We are not understanding nature. We have to understand nature first. Nature is our teacher first of all. Once we understand nature, means we know systems. We can discover systems, and this happened. We understood nature and found formulas, found many subjects, discovered that, established, organized those subjects, all coming from there. Why we don't stress ourselves into understanding all this? That is first question. Now all says we don't have jobs. Youth say particularly we don't have jobs. My question is, in your 12 years of study in school, you have learned something, You are taught something, but that something is taking you some direction of performing jobs or no. If that education is not taking you direction where you can perform something to earn money, then there is left no purpose, no objective of that type of schooling education, because you hate lowest class of work. You consider that there is no practical education taught with this theoretical education. There is nothing taught to you, no sphere is taught to you, no discipline is taught to you, no work is taught to you. What function is there? For what I say, an educated person is useless if that educated person cannot perform in life at any level. If you want to work at clerk level only, if you want to work at an official level only, or if you want to work as a bureaucrat only, then your education has no stream, your education has no potential, because you are working where there is no output, there is no measurement of work, there is no efficiency. You are targeting yourself to that work. If you are targeting yourself to productive work, you have to learn during your schooling itself something which can give you results, which can give you money, which can give you your performance, your paritoshik. But you are not working that way. You are not learning that way. I learned physics, I learned chemistry, I learned trigonometry, I learned this. You learned everything, but you got admission to another course, and that is degree course, and you learn higher on that. And after that, oh, I have passed MSc in this subject, I have passed PhD in this, I want to join as a lecturer or a professor in any university. And that is if your target, this is a limited target. You cannot diversify that. That is only small target, nothing else. And you wait for that. Some people even don't get anything on that. They wait for jobs. You are not ready to do yourself. What I have to say is, we are deficient country. We are not producing people to meet our national requirement. We are not producing people to meet our future requirements. We need only these classes of people. You think we need only IAS or doctors and engineers and professors only in this country where hundreds of trades are available and required? There are people who are not at all educated and they are working successfully in many disciplines where you cannot even think of to work. That is a problem. How many people coming out of schools intend to join industrial training institutes? Why don't they join there? Is that not a job? Is that not an education? Why don't you work in half fields, not in full professional fields? After all, it is work. You can do business in that field, you can do trade in that field, but people are not interested at all. Electricians are there, welders are there, you can say many other trades are there, mechanics are there, auto mechanic, so many disciplines are there. People don't care about that. Plumbers are there, and you can say there are electronics technicians are there. Previously used to be TV technicians. Why don't you think of those lower class trades which can permanently give you food, give you job, but you have to work with your own hands? Why don't we intend to work with our hands to earn our livings? Why do you think that we have to become full top class professionals only? There are no jobs of top class professionals. Now there may be some jobs, but in future, in 15 to 20 years, we will not find any jobs for these people. If you just count how many people we have in this country and what we need, we have limited budgets in our country. We have 100 crore people, or say 80 crore voters in this country, 90 crore voters. How many government servants we need for that? You can calculate. For 100, how many you need? That is 5 servants for 100 people. You see how many required in this country. Why you need more than that? If there is 100 crore people, we need 100, let us say maximum 5 persons are required to serve 100 persons. So 5% people are maximum required for purpose of administrative and other service purposes. And for the 5 crore total are okay in every field. You just say, why you want more than that? For defense, there are only 10 lakhs or more in army itself and other field. Why do you need more when there is no full scale wars are going to be broken? So there is a question, there is a limitation of everything. There is a scale for everything. There's a requirement of everything. Why do we produce people? Why do we produce education? Why promote that to redundant supply? Redundant supply means which is not required. If you have redundant supply means we have no value. When you go to market, if there is metal in abundance, what's the purpose of that? Market value comes down. People don't buy that because it's abundantly available and rates come down. It's economy, more demand means is expensive, less demand means it is cheaper. So when material abundant in market and you have no value for that, people throw that, spoil that, and that's happening. So same thing applies to human being also. If I am a human being, I have to work. I have to search that work where I can get jobs. Why do I run like as a mad people? The people are running now. Oh, we are running for computer technology, computer sciences. We are into management sciences. They are just running without any analytical study. What shall happen after 5 or 10 years? This is really a question mark. Why don't you analyze first job requirement? Why just we want to follow in a mad rush? We are following in a mad rush and then we are blaming others. Oh, we are not, I'm not getting job. My son is not getting job. He has qualified so many degrees. He has what these degrees would do if you don't practically use that? My PhD is useless if I don't find job relevant. PhD says either do research work or go to the university to teach people, teach students in a higher profile. But if that job is not available, my PhD degree is of no value until it is a professional degree. If it's a professional degree, it can be applied in engineering or in medical. That is fine. I can apply in my business. I can apply in my own consultancy. I can apply in somewhere else where it is usable for my purpose, for my work. But if I just want to use degree for employment purpose, nobody will buy it. And then we say you are employed. You are employed because you learn something which is not learnable. You cannot apply that knowledge. This is not knowledge. If your knowledge is not what applicable, what practical, what implementable, what's purpose of that? It is very big question mark in our country. And people are not thinking, leaders are not thinking, and ourselves, we are not thinking, institutions are not thinking. They are just allowing admission, imparting education, and releasing them as certificate holders. Take your dress, come out with a gown, wear gown, take your cap, and have a tie, and receive this, and go back, and convention is over. Is education purpose? This is education purpose. For this we have spent so many years. How can I manage my work so that this work returns me something? That should be criteria. If I means there should be a problem and I should have an answer to that problem. That is called work. If you have a problem in society, in nation, I have adequate knowledge to apply my knowledge to understand that problem, to solve that problem, and then I can say yes, this is an answer, and that is called result. If I cannot solve problem of my nation, problem of society, this means I don't know anything. Purpose of engineer is that engineer has to solve problem of society. Engineer has to deliver what is required in society. All disciplines I'm not talking of civil engineering only. I'm talking of civil, electrical, mechanical, architectural, and other engineering which are required for development of the society, for creation of a society, for creation of neighborhood, for providing facilities of society. That is all. If I cannot do that, how can I manage? This means I am not helping my society. I'm not helping my country. I'm not helping this world. And my knowledge, if it's not contributing something, means this is no use. So our education system is urgently required to be improved. We have to understand how many universities should be allowed and how many universities are abundant, are redundant. If there is only building, we believe in buildings. University is not a building. University is an institution. It must have certain objective. It must support some society problems. If university just passes, allows qualifications for no use, for no result, for no future, what is the meaning of that university? So why should we open that university? Why should there be grants from our University Grants Commission and from Parliament? Why should Parliament approve of these universities? This means we don't have any plan with us. And that plan we don't have means we are deficient in our planning. On today, it is 2019, we have no paper with us that can guide us what we should do. 130 crore people. First of all, we don't know what shall be population after 50 years, after 25 years. If we compare it to past records, it is horrific, you can say. It is threatening. It's scaring us. 400% we have reached since 1947. And it is only 70 years we have multiplied to 400%. If you keep same scale and think of, you will not like to live in this country, because if it is 200 crore in coming 10, 15 years or 20 years, what do you think states would be? It is only 130 crore, which is also not correct. But let us consider 130 crore now, and after 50 years, it may be 200, keeping same scale, because in 70 years, we have multiplied to 400%. So in 15, 20 years, how many percent can we apply? In 35 years, say 50% VAT, we can multiply it to 200% more. But it won't be. Let us keep our limit to 200 crores. 200 crore population of this country, where do we stand? This means out of 200, there will be at least 25 to 50 crore educated, highly educated people in this country, which will be a force of medical, force of engineering, force of bureaucratic, and force of all other professions and trades and disciplines. What functions shall they serve in that case, and what amount of, what element of economy we have spent on them in forms of money, in forms of our finances, and what result shall they deliver to us? This is a big question mark where we could not work out till now. It is because of political non-will. Our politicians are rascals. I can say rascals openly, because they don't think. They just want to win, win and win, stay in seat and only stay in seat and nothing else. They don't want to care for future of this country. They want to care for their seats, their power, and nothing else. All politicians belonging to whatever party, because common man is not reaching politics, because common man is not interested in that scrap dirty politics, and they know it very well that common man shall never come to political field, and this is why that is their field, their honor of this field. This way or that way, this man will come or that man will come, no third man will come. Either BJP will come or Congress will come or somebody regional party will come, but Suraj will not come or someone else will not come, because he has no courage to come to politics. He fears politics, he scares politics, he is threatened person. He will just stay in his own prideful profession and never think of about entering into parliament or entering into assemblies. And this is weakness of our society. We cannot build our society until we become courageous. We are not courageous. These people who don't have any reliability, who don't have any potential of background of profession or working in a class of society, they are leaders of our country. And those professors, doctors, highly profiled, educated people, they can do much better than those people. They are not coming in politics. They never enter politics. That is a problem. You can take an example in Delhi. Some professionals came and they did some improvement at least. I'm not appreciating that. But eyes cannot be closed. That is also a fact. They did not develop Delhi, I understand. But they, to some level, to some consideration, something has been done. You cannot ignore that also. But those people are doing nothing. Who are responsible for this country? They are just talking, talking and talking. Promising, promising and promising, making you beggars. That's all. I will give you this, you vote for me. I will give you this, you vote for me. My vote, my country, my nation, my society, my economy, and that person shall give me. Strange. That person shall give me, I have to give him vote, means he wants exchange of vote with that. Exchange. Money exchange. It is vote exchange, it is promise exchange. This is our problem. This means we are a free society, we have been given independence, but we are not independent in education, we are not independent in health. Our education, I have explained to you, and there can be more talks on education, in engineering, in medical, everywhere. For example, I have written a list on this regarding various high-profile institutions that are taking care of education system, professional education system, and they must be responsible for that, but they also lacking in their performance. They also not performing what was expected to them. Out of them, there are institutions, I will list it on that. Now it's not time to open my list. You can go through that list. For example, there is Medical Council of India, which is a statutory body. There is a Chartered Accountant institution, it's called Indian Institution of Chartered Accountant, that is also a statutory body. Similarly, there is an institution called Indian Institution of Company Secretaries, that is also a statutory body. There is a Pharmaceutical Council of India, that is a statutory body. There is a Nursing Council of India, that is a statutory body. There is an Architects Council of India, that is a statutory body. There is, you can say, All India Council of Technical Education, which is also a statutory body. There is a National Board of Accreditation, there is also a statutory body. There is Institution of Engineers India, that is also a statutory body. And there are similarly many other bodies available in our country. There is an objective, there is a scope they have to perform, but they have not performed it to requirements. They have just been played in hands of politicians. Politicians are mighty. Now, all these statutory bodies, what I am calling it, statutory body means which has been constituted by statute, not under statute. For example, this Societies Registration Act, this Societies Act 1860, that act said you, if you are 7 persons in anywhere or in arts and field of somewhere, you can constitute a society and you have to get registration of that body, of your own society, your own association, and that is called, you are registered under the society. You are not registered, you are not a statutory body. In that case, your society is a registered body. But what I am telling is, what I am narrating to you is about these institutions which are statutory bodies, means they have been approved by Parliament of this country, by President of this country, that you have to work for them. Means these bodies are statutory bodies. This means they have to work for public, they have to work for government, they have to work for state in that capacity to achieve that objective which has been mentioned, which have been defined in that statute or in that charter, whatever is available in that statute, that they have to perform these activities, they have to perform these requirements, they have to dispose of that role. But we have to see, are these bodies successful? Have these bodies been doing that? Have this body move in a direction efficiently to deliver that to public? Because there is no individual ownership in that. Nobody is in individual capacity responsible for the bodies. These are statutory bodies and the state is responsible for that, and public is a state. It's not government only. We all a state. Union of India is a state, and we constitute Union of India ourselves. Public of India is Union of India. We are sovereign people. That body is meant for society. It's meant for nation. We have to analyze, we have to review, are these bodies doing work for us or not? These are just for namesake and for their purpose, limited to that only. These are bodies, these are responsible for various professional educations. For example, University Grant Commission is mentioned in that. University Grant Commission is also a statutory body. There is also, I don't know, for example, Alien Institute of Medical Sciences, that is also a statutory body. Is that working to its requirement? That is question. Institution of Engineers is also a statutory body incorporated by Royal Charter in 1935. Is that body working for requirement? That is also a question mark. All India Council of Technical Research is meant for some purpose. Is that body working in direction? We have to see that, and I will discuss it in the next talk because it's already long one, and this talk is very long. I have put one discussion, deliberately discussion, projections of Institution of Engineers India in one link. You can see that in this. The link is available to script.com. I have put that file there, and this is about 90 pages. That description is, you can go through that and see what I have in my mind. We have to see each and everything. It's not simple individuality or society or association. It's a question of nation. Means education is very important factor in our life, in every nation's life. If you go to Gulf, they are stressing on education, higher class education. So they are very small countries. All Gulf nations are at this stage. They are thinking of education, which we have started long back. We have started long back, but we did nothing on that. Just for our job is just to create something, and that's it. We just pass one law, attach it with this. Okay, you are an organization, what? And that's all. You are like, go to hell. We never review that. We never have intention to check them. If we are barricaded even to go there. Okay, I am medical council, come here with your degree or internship, and I issue you a registration certificate. Is that only job left? These are responsible for that job, for that body, but they are not serious in any case. Institution of Engineers has a lot of responsibility according to charter granted to it. We have to see whether it has been able to perform that or we are not. It's our duty to see. We are people. It's not simply Council of Institution or Council of Architecture. That is responsible. People of India is responsible for that. Directly or indirectly, we are spending money on that. We have to see that. But who will see? Who is responsible for that? Who is responsible legally for that? Public is ultimate above all. Courts are above all. Somebody has to check it. Every country advances because of good education system, not polluted education system. We have to chart out, we have to research, we have to find out, we have to discover where do we stand in our education. In primary education, where do we stand? In the middle level education, where do we stand? In higher education, we have to stand. In higher professional education, we have to stand. In every section of education, we have to analyze ourselves. If we don't analyze, we'll not get answer. And if we don't get an answer, we cannot solve that problem. Problem is solved because we have answers, we have considerations, we have opinions, we have answers to opinions, we have acceptability of opinions, or we have rejection to opinions. Otherwise, we cannot improve it. If we cannot improve our education system, we cannot improve anything else. Because education is reliable, is field, all types of educations. If education is not reliable, medical is not reliable, engineering is not reliable, other fields are not reliable, union services are not reliable. Nothing is reliable if education system is not perfect. But we are not checking about that. What the government does, they just constitute certain commissions, and commission works for years and decades, and then some report is given, and that report is also put into cold storage, because who reads thousands of pages, for what purpose? Give it to another commission and let that commission read that report, and then give it to third commission to find out what are extractions of that report. And this is going on like that. No political party takes responsibility, no political leader takes responsibility, no prime minister takes responsibility, no president takes responsibility. All are passing time of their tenure. That's all. Prime Minister thinks of elections, coming back to seat. President thinks I have only 2 terms, I have to sit and enjoy. No, courts are busy in their own world. My lord and your lord, they don't come out of that. So where do we stand as a sovereign nation, as a Republic of Bharat, a socialist Bharat, as a secular Bharat? These are all names for sake of names. Unfortunately, we are so unserious society. I again stress, we are not a serious nation, we are not a serious society, we are not serious engineers and doctors, we are not serious bureaucrats, we are not serious students, we are not serious anywhere except in crimes. We are serious in crimes. We do crimes and run away. We are not even caught by police. Police is not serious. Military, I can't say about military because I have not experienced them for 40, 50 years. They have not come to wars. They are just on the border. They are guarding our country, and that's only seriousness. More than this, we don't know. How can we know when they are not used to work, where they are not where they are meant for? We cannot know about that. Once, if we got opportunity, we can know. We learned them. The capacity we learned in 1971, they officially performed. They performed more than the official requirement, and they were given. They were respected a lot. They were honored. That type of requirement is there. Whether that requirement exists today, I cannot claim. Being a citizen of this country, I honor military. I honor armed forces. I fully respect them. I salute them. But how far they have gone in their achievements, in their efficiency, I don't know. It's a fact of life. You cannot deny that. Fact is this: our education system needs overhauling, needs complete research. Our student of KG, student of primary education and middle education have to start using mind, not to memorize. Memory is not answer. And thought and understanding is required. Understanding of subject, understanding of topics, understanding of issues, analysis of everything is required. Those students in West, they are taught to think. They are taught to think only. First think. What is master degree? What does master degree means in our country? I don't think even our country they consider. But if you are a master, this means you must think first. Think again, think again, think again, and then do something if you find something. Not simply, oh, I am doing masters. You tell me, please give me this file. I want to use this file. I am not able to find answer. Do you have this answer? Now, what you are doing then? If you don't have an answer, you have to ask someone else to get you a feedback. That means you are not doing mastery. You are not doing doctorate. You are not doing anything. You are just interested in getting solution, working in the writing examination and thesis, and submit it for purpose of getting your degree. And is that required? Same thing is happening in the UK now. They are getting thesis from some others, making the projects through some others by paying money, and they are saying they are finding this is happening in UK. UK country is happening. That country which was well-known professionals, which were always considered honest, they are doing this nonsense now. Why we should blame ourselves only? And you know, standard of education in America, everybody knows. I'm not talking about this because what education they have, we know all that. No need of that. And Gulf education now they have started improving, but till now it's also same. And don't talk of Africa and don't talk of except Chinese. I mean, Chinese are very strong on education and they don't care about any slacking that. And our country is only strong in English. We have some people who can use English very well. For example, they can speak whatever they want, and they can speak for hours. They can write very good English, but they are lacking. They're lacking in mathematics. There are very few people who are really well educated. Well, I will not say about engineers. Means engineers have to study, scientists have to study. I cannot say about them. They are well professional people. They are organized people. They have mind. They analyze these issues. Without that, they cannot even improve. They cannot even go further. They cannot even pass examinations if they don't have analytical power. They don't know theory. They learn theory as well as practicals. That is why engineering, medical sciences are respected. In engineering, we are taught theories, we are taught practicals, we are taught tutorials, we are taught applications, and we even watch, we go to visits various sites, various areas, where factories, where industries. Only then we can become engineers. Same thing applies in medical also. They do both. They do tutorials, they do practicals, they do theories. Only then they can. Otherwise, in all other professions is different. Yes, there is internship in chartered accountancy. There is something, but that is only applicable not to practical applications, but to something clerical job. All education must be related to practical work. If a railway pilot doesn't know how to operate train, if a pilot doesn't know how to operate flight, can they work? They have basic knowledge. They have also got theoretical knowledge. They also got practical knowledge, but they have to learn how to fly. They have to learn how to fly train, how to fly train, how to run train, how to run flight. They have to learn that. Only then they can do, otherwise they fail. Same thing for everyone. Our student must be efficient enough to understand subject thoroughly. I don't care it is 90% marks or it is 100% marks or it is 70% marks or 60% marks. My question is, my objective is what that students understands. It happened in Bihar, it happened in many areas, and got 90% marks, but when that person, that boy or girl or student was questioned in practice, questioned in theory, and interrogated, or you can say why or was, that person turned to be fake. If this happens, where does education stand? If you believe in certificate, if you rely on certificate, certificate is not answer. Certificate is no guarantee. Your mind is guaranteed, your performance is guaranteed, your operation is guaranteed, your sequence of work is guaranteed, your target is guaranteed, your performance style is guaranteed, your working style is guaranteed. That is more important. If my mind is sharp, my mind is analytical, my mind is efficient, I can perform much better than a normal mind. But I have to make my mind first. And that mind can be made only by education. And that education is lacking in its own degree. That education is lacking in its all syllabus, in its all structure of syllabus, in it all designs. What's purpose then it serves? What purpose it serves? Tell me. We have so many classes of education, we have so many fields of education, we have so many disciplines, so many professions in our country, but we have to see where we reach. Now nobody stays in one profession. Problem is that suppose one passes engineering, he changes profession. Or in engineering will not pay me much, I will go to management, or I will go to some other field, I will go to IAS. Now, what is purpose served? I don't understand. If my engineering education is not easy, it is very difficult, it takes time, it consumes my mind, it consumes everything. And after all going through that education, spending government money or spending whatever there is, expenses of society, then I change my direction. I don't like that. I go to field, management field. I start doing management, learning management. After passing that, I get some good job, high package job. This means my engineering money has gone waste, my engineering time has gone waste. What was purpose of my engineering? Doing structural engineering or doing other MTech and doing some civil engineering or mechanical or electrical engineering? What was basic purpose of that? Why I wasted my time and state time and public money on that education? If I was not interested in it, then I should have directly go to management studies. I should directly go on to IS studies. Why should I have gone to engineering or medical study? Had I a choice, had an option to be a professor, to be a bureaucrat or be manager in some company, that is really loss. That's the real loss. I missed. I contributed to because somebody else could come to my position in that college or university where there was a seat, and that guy could get some benefit. But I cancelled his benefit. I got my benefit in that one, and then I condemned that field itself. I ignored that field just because I wanted good package after passing management degree or some IS examination. I wanted to be a government employee, and that's all. What does it mean? Because there is no cohesion in education, there is no, it's completely adhering. Adhering, when two similar metals meet together and form some higher blob, higher volume, that's called cohesive soil. And when there's a different metals come together, it's called adherence. So when the different fields have clubbed together, this adherent. Adherence is your adherent understanding. You are neither fit for your engineering and you are nor fit for your management or bureaucracy. You are fit nowhere actually. You are going to a direction which is not real direction, which is not a integrated and strong direction. You will just regret forever. A nation will regret forever because you won't deliver anything if you are appointed as a bureaucrat, and you won't manage something if you are manager something if you are appointed there. Well, maybe I'm wrong. I cannot claim that I'm right, but it's my anguish that I'm expressing. Why do we waste our time, society time, and nation time? It's wastes of time. It is not easy. Engineering takes 12 years of school and 5 to 7 years of degree, because degree is not academic degree is adequate. You have to learn also in field. So you have lost 15 years, 16 years, 17 years, 18 years, and then you jump to another field. The function of that achievement, that education that you learned, you acquired during your education has gone where? It's gone zero. And you are going to another direction which actually depends upon engineering education. If you are a manager in a company that deals with engineering and then trades or something else, or industrial or some other, I mean, there is no industry at all working, there is no factory working, what shall you do there? What shall you manage? You are manager. There is nothing to manage if there is no industry. There is nothing to manage if there is no factory. There is nothing to manage if there is no development. There is nothing to manage if there is no powerhouse. There is nothing to manage if there is something else. Infrastructure of this country in any way, your management work shall not stand. Similarly, bureaucracy shall not stand if all these fields dim. If all these fields diminish, then you will not even exist. Why don't you take it that way? I am not talking about finances. I am not talking about money. I am not talking about earning. I am not talking about anything else. I am talking about potential, about character, about capacity, about consistency that shall be used for this nation or for any other nation from any other society. I am talking about that. Money is something else. It's a remuneration. I'm not talking about remuneration. You may not even have any remuneration. There are some people who don't even require some remuneration, but they want to do something for nation. What about those? Are they mads? There are many people who are working on salaries which are not due for them, but much lower to their capacity, but they are also working. And there are those people who don't have that knowledge, but they are getting multiple times, but they are also working. What's the difference between the two? Only thing, it's not question of money. I may get whatever package, that's something else. But it's country. For country, you have to contribute. You have to contribute for country. When I was in government service, I was just getting very small amount, which I did not consider worth, but I had to work because this was job. We work free also in some cases. When we think so, it's good for us. It's good for community. We have to work free sometimes. It happens. There are many doctors who are working free, who don't even charge anything. In charity, they are working. They are working for public service. There are many cases available. You cannot say this is their interest. Okay, I am not interested in money. I want to serve poor people. What's wrong with that? If that doctor serves a poor people without charging consultancy or even without charging cost for medicines, what do you want to say to that doctor? Is that doctor fool? Or you are intelligent because you are getting much package in your agreement? Both are working. You are working for yourself, but that person is working for community, for society, for nation. This is difference. That person has mind as well as heart. You have only mind, you have no heart. That is the difference. You are interested in benefits. That person is not interested in benefit exclusively. That person is interested in serving someone. You are interested in making money, and that's all. This is the difference. You are not a contributor to society. You are a polluter of society because you want rewards for everything. That person is not interested in that. You are making for yourself, you are living for yourself, you are not living for your country, you are living for some person who's running that company, and that's all. You did not pay back to this country, that person is paying back to this country. That's the difference. You are making yourself foreigner to this country in practical way. That person integrates to this country. There's a difference. Money is not everything. And this is international company, multinational company who will spoil our society in name of extra money, over packages. Have you ever thought of why did these companies from overseas come here to spoil our youth? Because they never expected, they wanted to abuse our youth because our youth is potential, our youth is power, our youth is energetic, our youth has brilliant minds. They wanted to loot this and they successfully looted that. This mind is not available with their youths. US youth don't have this capacity. England youth don't have this capacity. All youth don't have this capacity because our education was general. Their education is not general. UK education is not our education. They have a specified education. They don't know more about that. Our engineers know many times better than their engineers because we are generally educated. They are specifically educated. That is the difference. Same thing applies in US also. They may say we are powerful, we are more intelligent. Okay, saying is very easy. They say that. But practical is different. We had education which could fit in somewhere here and there in our fields. We could fit anywhere, and we needed that type of people in those days because we were zero country. We were a country where there was no development in 1947. We had to develop from scratch. But those countries had different status. They looted us. They looted us sometimes. They made their countries. So they didn't want that type of people. They had no scrap. They got no scrap at all. They were scrap other day. In other time, hundreds of years back, they were scraps. America was dominated by Ottoman rules. They were slaves. Americans were also slaves one time. They cannot say that we have superpowers since beginning. If we go to many hundreds of years back, when Turkey ruled America. Armenians were misabused. This America was never available like this. They had their history. They don't tell that. 23rd April, 24th April is there. Go and ask them what day is today. They will tell you. Turkey ruled that. And they are, Turkey, you know Turkey, this Istanbul and Ankara, all this. Ottoman Empire ruled that. So first they have to know their own. They don't tell that. And we don't want to know that. That is the difference. They know ours, that English ruled that, Mughals ruled, we know this. We don't know who ruled China. China ruled themselves but in different manner. And we say, oh, China was also liberated when we were liberated. No, we had to have a lack of information. We have to know about ourselves as well as about others first before reaching some conclusion, before reaching some decision. And that is where we lack in. We have that deficiency in ourselves. Our education system is not strong enough to keep us clear about others and about ourselves. That happens. We are interested in Satyug, we are interested in Ram, we are interested in Krishna, we are interested in all these irrelevant topics which have nothing to do with current world, with modern economies. We know about that, we should know about that, but this should not be a mandatory education. Our education should be developing education, linked to world. How can we live in this world, linked to other people's, coordinated to our people? We should know about them and they should know about ours. That is required. What we have to take, what happens 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 years back, that is not going to contribute to my economy. Now, we should know them religious wise, otherwise we should know them. That is another issue. There is a different aspect of education, but practical education which gives me food, that education I have to learn, or I have to learn what happened in Sanskrit age, what happened in Mahabharata, what happened in Ramayana. We have to know that. What we do? If I know Ram was this and Satya Harishchandra was this, how shall it contribute to current society? Except belief. And we cannot stay in belief. We should know that. But question is, our country's society's development. That development cannot come by Ramayana or Mahabharata. Same thing, America cannot move like Ottoman rule now. It is for all, uniformly applicable to all. We have to make our education worth, reliable, applicable to find solutions to problems. And education can only find solutions because education is base for all solutions. Our country has to move based on education, not on sabji market. If education is there, sabji market can also be organized. Fruit market can be organized well in a professional manner. But that is not being done. So economy is dependent. Economy means society is dependent on education. Our education system must be checked. All levels. And I'll take it up later on in explain details in next talk. because it's not enough to talk in 2 hours everything. It's not adequate. There's not time. It's many hours it takes. And I think you should find interest in this type of, because you will not find these talks in books or in colleges. Nobody is interested to talk all about this. But this is based on personal experience, personal initiative, personal mind, personal contemplation, and everything based on person. And everybody has a duty. Every professional person, every experienced person have a duty to share one's opinions, one's ideas with others. And that is what I'm intending to do. Intending to first train myself, understand myself, what I think right or wrong, and then share it with you people for purpose of dissemination. If you think it is right, accept it. If you think it's not right, condemn it. No problem. It's up to you. But things have to move. Talks have to move. If we don't talk, nothing happens. I don't want to take my mind with me when I leave this world, because I should leave something for others. It is right, it's their right, because I learned something on them, from them, from their forefathers, from their ancestors, who contributed to this country, who contributed to this world. Similarly, my forefathers contributed to this world, and others forefathers contributed to this. So I have to repay them in this form. If I cannot pay money wise, if I cannot pay some other wise, at least in dissemination of knowledge, dissemination of experience, dissemination of learning is possible, and medium is possible, like Facebook or like YouTube or some other free medium where we can make use of that. And rather than posting photos only, or parties photos, I'm on this airport, I'm on this airport, I am here, just wastes of time of others. And if we can make use of such a medium which has been provided by luck of our luck, by Facebook provided, some other provided, at least we can make use of this instead of producing and spending money in colleges and disseminating videos to all. That is not possible. At least those who are interested can open my video and read, and if those more, this is up to them. Nobody is forcing someone. But it is continuous exercise. It cannot stop. And I have certain fields where I can talk to you, and I have an initiative. Whenever I have time, I can contribute my time to this activity and submit to you for your consideration. If you are interested, fine. If you are not interested, thank you very much. No other problem in that, because everybody is not interested in my talks. I know that. This talks is first of all time consuming. This talks requires some concentration. This requires open mind. If those who don't have open mind, they don't do anything. They can criticize. No problem. Everybody has the right to criticize. I can also criticize. You criticize me, no issue. But don't make it political. Make it professional. I don't want to involve in politics, because politics is spoiler of this country. I want professionals who can manage this country, not these politicians. These politicians are worthless, and they understand, if I am open and if you are open, if professionals are open, okay, we come in politics and we contest elections, society has to look at us, then all these politicians will have to leave these seats, because they are criminals, they are liars. All, I'm telling all. When there are one or two good people, they are ignorable. On an overall, on gross picture, these politicians are not acceptable to our society, but under compulsion, society is voting them. Under compulsion, because alternative is not available, either this party or that party. There is no other alternative available. If there is alternative available, people will vote them. If I am alternative, they will vote them. If you are alternative, they will vote them. This is a choice. This is an option. If I don't find some vegetable in the market, I have to buy only those vegetables which are available. There is a restriction. That is a confinement. I cannot move that. I will not go to some other state and get vegetable for that day, because I have to depend upon local vegetable. This is happening in our politics. Our politicians know that there is no way out. They have to come to us ultimately, and that is happening, and they are successful in that. Negative approach. That is negative approach, but we are not trying to make it positive, because we are coward society. We are coward professionals. We are not pro-country professionals. We are pro-earning professionals. We are pro-job professionals. We are thinking for ourselves only. We are not thinking for nation. One day we start thinking of a nation, whole nation will change when all professionals start. All engineers start thinking, all doctors start thinking, all those who can contribute to society start thinking. These politicians will not find any job for them. And that is what is required. Why should I allow Rahul Gandhi or Modi to sit in this MP seat and Prime Minister seat when I am there? Who are you when I am there? Question should be that. That should be basic idea. When I am available, what the hell you are doing here? You go, you leave. Because I am capable, more capable than you. But this option is not coming to my mind. This option is not coming to a professional in this country. This option is not coming to judges in this country. This option is not coming to capable people in this country. Only donkeys are ruling this country because horses are not working. Duffers are ruling this country because intellectuals are not contributing. Minds are not contributing to this country. They are contributing only to get jobs, live better life, enjoy, and that's it. And that is Vya Bharat. What I say. Are you accepting me or you're not accepting me? I least bother. I have to speak clearly, openly what I think. You may curse me, you may criticize me, you may speak bad about me, no problem. Because I have seen world, I have seen various nationalities, I have seen various societies, I have seen many countries, and I know what people are. How are people suppressed and how are people liberated? How people have been suffering, how nations have been suffering, how society is suffering. Only powerful kills low powerful. This is basic principle of life. Those who are more powerful, lower powerful people are scared of them. And this is life. Once a gentleman gets up and starts fighting with gundas, these gundas run away. But until this gentleman is gentle, he submits to them, these gundas rule him. This happens. But we can't help it until we awaken. We rise. We are not rising from our seat. We are not rising to requirement. We are not rising to our country's requirement. We are sleeping. That is why I'm calling sleeping, inactive, non-serious society is defined as Bharat. If you ask someone, Bharat is inefficient, illogical, sleeping, and non-serious society. And thank you very much for this, gentlemen. Thank you for your time. I'm just concluding this video. It's already more than 250 minutes, and I'll talk next again in next video. Thanks. Ever.